For the Charles Dickens contest, I've decided to present the beginning of the chapter The Smallweed Family in The Bleak House. The reason why I chose this piece is not necessarily because of its pertinence in the novel, but because it has the two major reasons why we appreciate and love Charles Dickens today. One being his character development, which is truly intricate and astounding, and also his satire, which is very subtle at some points and very obvious at others, but has an effective way of creating an image within the reader's mind. In a rather ill-favored and ill-savored neighborhood, though one of its rising grounds bears the names of Mount Pleasant, the elfin Smallweed, christened Bartholomew, and known on the domestic hearth as Bart, passes that limited portion of time on which the office and its contingencies have no claim. He dwells in a little narrow street, always solitary, shady, and sad, closely bricked in on all sides like a tomb, but where there yet lingers the stump of an old forest tree, whose flavor is about as fresh and natural as the Smallweed smack of youth. There has been only one child in the Smallweed family for several generations. Little old women and men there have been, but no child, until Mr. Smallweed's grandmother, now living, became weak in her intellect, and fell, for the first time, into a childish state, with such infantine graces as total want of observation, memory and understanding and interest, and an internal disposition to fall asleep over the fire and into it. Mr. Smallweed's grandmother has undoubtedly brightened the family. Mr. Smallweed's grandfather is likewise of the party. He is in a helpless condition as to his lower, and nearly so as to his upper limbs, but his mind is unimpaired. It holds, as well as it ever held, the first 4 rules of arithmetic, and a certain small collection of the hardest facts. In respect of ideality, reverence, and wonder, and other such phrenological attributes, it is no worse off than it used to be. Everything that Mr. Smallweed's grandfather had ever put away in his mind was a grub at first, and is a grub at last. In all his life he had never bred a single butterfly. The father of this pleasant grandfather of the neighborhood of Mount Pleasant was a horny-skinned, 2-legged, money-getting species of spider, who spun webs to catch unwary flies and retired into holes until they were entrapped. The name of this old pagan's god was compound interest. He lived for it, married it, died of it, meeting with a heavy loss in an honest little enterprise in which all of the loss was intended to have been on the other side. He broke something necessary to his existence, therefore it couldn't have been his heart, and made an end of his career. As his character was not good, and he had been bred at a charity school, in a complete course according to questions and answer of those ancient people of the Amorites and Hittites, he was frequently quoted as an example of the failure of education. His spirit shone through his son, whom he had always preached of going out early in life, and whom he made a clerk in a sharp scrivener's office at 12 years old. There the young man improved his mind, which was of a lean and anxious character, and, developing the family gifts, gradually elevated himself into the discounting profession. Going out early in life and marrying late, as his father had done before him, he too begat a lean and anxious-minded son, who, in his turn, going out early and marrying late, became the father of Bartholomew and Judith Smallweed, twins. During the whole time consumed in the slow growth of the family tree, the house of Smallweed, always early to go out and late to marry, has strengthened itself in a practical character, has discarded all amusements, discountenanced all storybooks, fairy tales, fictions, and fables, and banished all levities whatsoever. Hence, the gratifying fact that there has been no child born to it and that the complete little men and women whom it has produced have observed to bear a likeness to old monkeys with something depressing on their minds. Thank you.